My name is Corey Efert, and I am a senior mechanical engineering major at the University of Alabama.
My name is Ginger Morgan, and I'm a neuroscience major.
And we're here today to introduce you to BioGram. So Ginger and I are both seniors in the STEM Path to the MBA program. As sophomores, our class was asked to bring new value. Our class was asked to bring new value to an old NASA patent. We discovered a patent that was a revolutionary panoramic lens using rocket engine analysis. With this existing technology, we defined a totally new application. Ginger and I found value in using a miniaturized version of this lens to reinvent the way you do minimally invasive surgery. We had presented this idea to our class and were selected to compete in the NASA Technology Transfer competition, in which we were selected as a finalist. Since then, we have worked with NASA and actually acquired licensure to use this patent for our specific application.
The reason our idea has been accepted so quickly by NASA scientists, physicians, and business executives is simple. In current procedures that use an endoscope, physicians often report feeling disoriented and admit to having blind spots and limited visualization. This is as a result, 24% of benign tumors in the standard colonoscopy go unseen. Our panoramic lens would offer increased visualization, higher resolution, and ultimately better outcomes for patients. However, we aren't limited to colonoscopies. Dr. Maureen Smithers of Sutherland Cardiology has said that she would recommend our product to her surgical team for use in minimally invasive heart surgery. Additionally, our medical advisor, Dr. Brandon Stacy, is a cardiothoracic imaging specialist who has said that our product would be highly influential in early cancer diagnostics.
Well, our product obviously provides great value. There we go. Great value for the medical field. What we love most about it is the practicality of the idea. Currently, whether in minimally invasive heart surgery or colonoscopies, the surgeon will insert a miniaturized camera along with other robotic arms into the body. With our product, this procedure would be exactly the same, except that the lens on the end of the camera would be replaced with our panoramic lens. The surgeon would then have software to unwrap this image and provide a live feed with a full radial view of inside the heart chambers, colon, or the lungs. So with the combination of this current device and our lens, nothing would have to be changed. There would be no additional education for the cardiologist or whoever's performing the surgery. At this point, you may be asking yourself, if this idea is so simple and yet so valuable, why hasn't it been done already? To which we would simply respond, we have no idea.
To our knowledge, there is no company using a panoramic lens in any surgical operation. However, there are companies that are attempting to do the same thing. Our major competition is Third Eye Panoramic, which simply attaches 2 more lenses onto the existing device, essentially paying for 3 lenses. What's so incredible about the lens that we're using is that it is actually one lens that has a 360-degree view. Every other patent for a panoramic lens is actually a synthesis of 5 to 6 lenses. Our other major competition is PillCam. You may recognize PillCam from the Facebook video that went viral last year. However, it failed for 2 main reasons that you can see in the pictures. The first is that even though it can be swallowed and it travels through the digestive tract, taking pictures on the way, there's nothing it can do to actually remove the polyps once it sees them. Additionally, it has a knack for getting stuck in the folds of the intestines. We believe that BioGram's lens will get rid of the complications and extra costs that our competitors have.
We foresee a vast market for our technology because of one reason. It can be used in procedures as specialized as brain tumor extraction, but also in procedures as common as the colonoscopy that 14.1 million Americans receive every year. This is a number that is in fact increasing. In 2009, the US market was valued for GI endoscopic devices at $1.8 billion, up 8% from 2008. Additionally, our product is viable for use in minimally invasive heart surgery. In many cases, cardiologists have the option to choose between performing either minimally invasive heart surgery or open heart surgery. Open heart surgery, of course, entails much more trauma to the body, extensive blood loss, and increased hospital stay for the patient. Additionally, patients who undergo minimally invasive heart surgery as opposed to open heart surgery see on average a 2-day shorter hospital stay compared to those who receive open heart surgery. Finally, we can, so this means that patients, physicians, and insurance companies would reap the benefits of a shorter hospital stay and reduced cost. Finally, our product is viable to cancer diagnostics outside of the colon. We believe that with our device, it would be a more efficient diagnosis of lung cancer, throat cancer, and stomach cancer. Having these multiple market segments for our product helps mitigate the risk involved with bringing a product to market in the medical field.
In order to reach all of our potential markets, we'd first like to tap into medical schools and research institutions so that the up-and-coming innovative professionals can become comfortable with our product and ensure that it becomes the new standard. We would also like to partner with a large biotech company that already has the capacity and infrastructure to manufacture and distribute our product.
So we have basically 4 key activities to bring our product to market. The first 2 are to gain exclusive licensure of the NASA patent and then to patent our own product. The third and most costly activity is going to be the further development and miniaturization of this lens for our specific application. We have already reached out and talked to Dave Lahnert, who is a subject matter expert in the optics field and previously worked at NASA. Dave Lahnert is fully confident that he can develop this lens and miniaturize it to a size of less than 5 millimeters in diameter, which is our target value. In fact, he thinks he can get it down to less than 2 millimeters. Additionally, Dave Lahnert previously worked with Jeff Linder at NASA, who is actually the inventor of this specific lens. He has since told us that he is more than willing to cooperate with us and would love to help develop this for the sake of our project. Finally, we would have to market our technology or our product directly to major medical device manufacturing companies. Through extensive research and after consulting with our advisors, we value the total of these activities to be around $110,000. With this very attainable investment, we feel fully confident that we can bring our product to market.
An endoscope system in its entirety costs $35,000 or higher on average. Now, the lens is the most important part of this system, but is essentially a throwaway cost to producers. The lens can cost as little as pennies to mass produce, and our lens is no more expensive. Now, we feel that this justifies a 5% increase in the total cost of the system to sell to companies, which means that after just 43 units are sold, our initial development costs will already be covered. After that, each unit sold will produce $1,750 in additional profit just for changing our lens. And this, go ahead.
We are confident in our financials because of the advice that we've received from our advisors. We have leading experts in the industries such as biotechnology, patent law, medical imaging, and the optics fields. We are fully confident that with the guidance of these experts, we can bring our product to market, and we can't wait to see the impact that we can potentially have.
Thank you so much for your time. We will now happily take any questions you have.
So with the patent, what is the currently with NASA? What's the length of the lifespan of the patent and that you're acquiring?
The patent that Jeff Linder has on the lens itself is good for another 3 years. However, we've spoken with a patent lawyer in Dallas who says that when we repatent it using that licensure, then that will give us an extension on that 3 years.
Our main goal is to get the exclusive licensure from NASA first and then to patent our product through ourselves.
Has there ever been a sample or a prototype made of the lens?
There are lenses that are made. They're housed at NASA, but they're bigger. They have been proven effective. They have used them in research already. They are just big right now, and that's where the development costs come into play because we need it to be miniaturized, which is very possible. It just has an upfront cost associated with that miniaturization process.
Where did you all stumble upon this? How did it come up?
I'll take this one, sure. So actually through the STEM program at the University of Alabama, it's a program where you do your undergrad in the STEM field. At the same time, you're taking courses that go towards your MBA. And through this, we had a project where NASA actually came to us and told the class, we've got all these old patents that were used for astronauts and Mars and crazy things that we don't ever see. So the Office of Tech Transfer at NASA, I actually had the opportunity to intern there last summer. Their main goal is to take these technologies and find ways to bring value to people here on Earth. So they came to the STEM program and said, we've got all these technologies, take them and find an application for them here on Earth, create a business model, and we'll pick a few of you to present to us, in which we were selected. And then we were finalists, and they liked the idea so much. Terry Taylor at NASA liked it so much, he basically said, we've been thinking of this application. We can't do it ourselves. You'd be perfect for it. Go for it.
Can you go back, can someone turn back to the budget
Sure.
for just a moment?
Oop, I think I just reset the clock.
Or take it off? Because I want to know what did y'all put in for tooling and hard cost of the development process, and where would you actually propose? You put 75,000 in for the. Is that an adequate amount?
Well, we've actually talked to Dave Lahnert before, and he estimated, along with Jeff Linder, who's the inventor, they said it's basically a time compensation for him to actually do the development. Dave Lahnert no longer works for NASA. He's off doing his own project. So basically, we'd have to compensate for him for the time he would spend working on our project, and he estimated that at around 50,000. We kind of gave a rough estimate and wanted to go a little over to give us some leeway, but that's where that estimate came from. Yes, sir.
I think as far as tooling, do you mean actually mass producing it to sell to the hospitals?
If you make one, you still got to make tooling to produce it. It's
Die-cast.
It's got to be. You've got to build a mold. You've got to have tooling.
Yes. So that's why we want to partner with one of these medical manufacturers. So our idea is to take this device as far as we can and then essentially license the product or the idea, our patent, to someone like Stryker or Olympus or things like that, because they already have some manufacturing systems in place that's similar, because they already manufacture this whole device. All we'd be changing is the lens and the fiber optics that go to it. So there would be some upfront costs with the optics and things like that and that part of the manufacturing tooling. But our idea is that since we're licensing this to Stryker and they're now going to produce this, mass produce this for us, that would be more on them.
With the $5,000 of marketing, is that to sell to a Stryker?
Essentially, yes, sir. That's for costs. Like we'd want to attend trade shows, possibly even visit medical universities, things like that, researchers, in hopes to get some contacts up. But our main idea was the trade show aspect of that.
So what's your end game? What's the, tell me the economics with Stryker or somebody. I see the 1750 a unit. What would you consider a success?
Our ideal exit strategy is to partner with a company like that and continue working with it, but accept royalties and give them the licensure.
So our main goal as of now is to provide as much value for ourselves as we can so we can present ourselves to Stryker as providing them with value.
I'm just curious, is the third eye panoramic unit already on the market?
I don't believe so.
Okay,
I haven't heard of it being used, and none of our medical advisors have heard of it being used.
okay. So we don't know what their price differential would be. Yeah, okay, thanks.
If you are unable to negotiate an exclusive license with NASA, would your business still be viable?
I guess not, but we're very confident in the exclusive licensure because, as I said, we worked there before, and NASA right now, the Office of Technology Transfer, is really pushing for student startups. They're actually, with these technology transfer competitions, they're trying to expand them a little bit, but the exclusive aspect of it is still with us. But we've actually spoken with Terry Taylor. Like I said, I worked there, and I have a great relationship with him. He's kind of guided us throughout this whole project. And really, NASA and even Link Research, where Jeff Linder now works, the inventor, they've been working with us on this, collaborating on this the whole time. And so they're all about us getting that exclusive licensure. All we'd have to do is go there and negotiate some fine details with them on it.
Additionally, Corey and I have talked about if we do win the $10,000 today, and we know that the very first step we'll do is go to NASA and say, can we please have exclusive licensure? And that will be done within a week of us getting the funding for it.
Just one more time on the patent. So 3 years, NASA, and then you believe you can get an extension of that based upon your secret sauce that, explain that to me.
Yes, the way the patent lawyer explained it to us is that we would not have Jeff Linder's patent on the lens itself, but we would re-patent, so to speak, using the existing endoscope device with our lens, and that would create a new patent altogether that would then have its own lifespan. All right, thank you so much.